The best time of the year, Christmas, is finally here, and I decided to make the ultimate gift guide for any gaming / streaming setup or your bedroom. I'm gonna be separating this video into 5 different categories, which are gaming setup, streaming setup, YouTube / recording, room decorations, and then finally tech. I'll have everything that I talk about down in the description below. So we're gonna be starting off on the gaming setup category, and everything in here I've searched for a few hours, and it's not really in a specific order, it's just a bunch of really cool ideas. So first are gaming keycaps. These can range from like $20 to $40, and they can just help spice up your keyboard if you have any. Then we have fake plants. I love using these all over my gaming setups and in my YouTube videos. They just really make this setup look way more aesthetic. Third, we have Govee RGB light strip. It doesn't specifically have to be from Govee. I just use Govee ones because I like their app, but I put them around my desk or underneath it, and it just adds a lot of nice RGB color. Then of course we have gaming mice, and there are a ton at different price points, but just to give you guys some of my favorite, and like the $25 range, you have the Razer Death Adder, or like a Logitech G203, or you can go up to like a Glorious Model D-. Those are around $40. Sometimes you can find them cheaper. And then if you want to go a little bit higher in the price point, I love the Logitech G Pro or the G Pro Superlight, and they recently came out with a new one, or my personal favorite mouse is the Final mouse, but these are like $300. So those are just a bunch of really good options at different price points. One of the best things you can get for your gaming setup though is a brand new gaming PC like this one from Paradox Customs. Paradox Customs builds gaming PCs, but they're not just any gaming PCs. Their build quality is amazing, and they have built gaming PCs for top pros like Clicks and a bunch of celebrities like The Weeknd, James Harden, Kevin Durant, and so many more. This gaming PC they give me not only looks amazing with the all-white theme, but it's also extremely powerful. It has an AMD Ryzen 7 9800X 3D, 32GB of DDR5 RAM, and an RTX 5070 Ti. So of course with specs that good, I was able to get a ton of FPS in any game I tried it on. You can get Paradox Customs to custom build you a gaming PC like I did, or you can choose from a variety of different pre-built gaming PCs that they have at a ton of different price points. They are currently having the biggest sales of the year right now, so if you've ever wanted a gaming PC, right now is the best time. And the best part is you can use code ZEN to save some extra money on your order. So if you want to upgrade your own gaming setup this holiday season with a brand new gaming PC, make sure you check out Paradox Customs with the first link in the description or pinned comment. Then we have soundbar. It honestly isn't just for the sound quality. You don't always have to have headphones, which I love with the soundbar. Plus, I think it aesthetically looks pretty good if you get like a soundbar with RGB lighting. I know Razer and Red Dragon, there also are a ton of options on Amazon ranging at different price points. Then this is a pretty unique one, mouse bungee. So if you have a wired mouse, I would highly recommend getting a mouse bungee. I know Glorious sells them for like $10 on Amazon. That's what I buy, and it literally makes your wired mouse feel wireless. So that is a really good option. A trash can. This isn't specifically like gaming related, but having a trash can under your desk can help clean your setup a lot, especially if you eat on your desk. So that is very, very useful. Then we have a light bar. These can go over your monitor, and I know a really good budget brand that everyone always recommends is BenQ, or I'll have it up on the screen. It's like $40 on Amazon, so that is a really good price. Then moving on, this is more of like a whole category in general. If you want to explore it, it definitely is probably the most expensive thing I'll be talking about in this video, but an entire sim racing setup. So you can get like a steering wheel and pedal set from Logitech for about $300, and they can go up to like thousands and thousands of dollars, especially if you start looking into a cockpit or anything. But it is really, really cool, and I think a really cool addition to any setup. Then we have 3D wall panels. I used to have these all over my entire setups. They're like kind of like white 3D panels that really just help pop your setup, especially if you have lighting. It kind of makes the light bounce really cool. And then next, talking about it, we also have grass wall panels you can get. I have these not only for the Christmas look, but I also kind of like the grass panels more. They even help hide cables, and I think it looks really, really nice and just makes it look nicer than a normal white wall would. Of course, you can also get a brand new gaming keyboard. If you have a membrane keyboard, I would highly recommend checking out Amazon. They do have some good mechanical keyboards that I found for $30. They also have like the GK61 or RK61 for $50. The Razer Huntsman Mini is now below $100, so there are a ton of good 60% keyboards you can get for gaming. And if you've never had a mechanical keyboard, these are great buys. I also highly recommend that you guys would actually check out headset stands. It just kind of makes your gaming setup look a lot cleaner. And I mean, most of you guys that are watching these videos probably have a gaming setup with a gaming headset already. So getting a headset stand that sits on the desk, or you can even get some that actually go underneath your desk and you Velcro it, those help the gaming setup like stay really clean. And as you guys see behind me, I have 3 monitors. I love having a ton of monitors in my setup, and if you have never had a second monitor, I would highly recommend checking these out. And you don't have to get a gaming monitor at all for your second monitor. You can just get a 60 hertz monitor, and you can find them for under $80 on Amazon, brand new for sure, especially with Black Friday and all that stuff. And then also with monitors, you can get monitor arms. So right now this one is actually on its normal monitor stand, but these two are on monitor arms, so you can also spice up and clean your gaming setup up and just make a really unique look with some monitor arms. They're about like 30 bucks on Amazon depending on which one you get. And then moving on, this is kind of like a huge setup upgrade, but I think everyone kind of overlooks these, is a brand new desk. And for me personally, I love this one from IKEA. It's a white marble, but it's not real marble, but it is from IKEA. I think this is $100. And then I have 2 Alex drawers on each side for the desk, and then tiny like 3/4 inch risers for the actual table. So a brand new desk might be a really good upgrade for your guys' gaming setup, and something you guys should definitely consider. I used to use this all the time, but if you're more of like a pro or a sweaty player, you can get a gaming arm sleeve. It just is kind of something cool to get. Then cable management sleeves. These are like go behind your setup and behind your monitors, your PC. Just helps your setup stay really clean. And then speaking about cable management, you can also just get a cable management net. If you're someone like me, I hate cleaning my setup and doing cable management, so literally just getting a net that goes underneath the desk and then just throwing all your cables under there, it just is really easy, takes like 10 minutes and helps your setup stay way cleaner. Maybe you guys also want to get a brand new gaming chair. Right now I'm actually using an ergonomic chair from Herman Miller. This one's a little bit more expensive, but me personally, there are also good ergonomic chairs and gaming chairs you can get, and you don't have to break the bank. You can get some for under like $100 or $200. Obviously, probably the more money you spend, the more comfortable the chair is going to be, but you might need a new chair if you're gaming on like a kitchen chair or something. And then you can also get new gaming headsets. There are a ton of options, and headsets have gotten really cheap. I honestly wouldn't recommend the mic on them that comes on them are not that good, but there are some really good budget ones you can get on Amazon as well, and of course from like name brands as well, from like Razer and stuff like that. And then to go a little bit rapid fire, you also have mouse grip tape if you have like a Logitech G Pro or something, new PC upgrades, so new graphics card, RAM, CPU, all that good stuff. Or you can get a laptop cooling stand. If you have a laptop, I highly recommend getting a laptop cooling stand because it'll help your PC or your laptop literally get more FPS because it's going to stay more cool and you can game on it for longer without it overheating. And then this is something I want to talk about. I talked about fake plants earlier in this video, but getting big fake plants that actually are like floor plants that are like 4 or 5 feet tall, I absolutely love these. I think I have like literally over 10 of them, 10 or 15. I just have these all over my entire house and I just love them so much. And then this is kind of random in-game currency. Maybe you want some V-bucks if you play Fortnite. That might be something that's cool. New video games as well. There are probably a lot of games at this time of the year going on discount. And then finally, this is a little bit of a shameless plug, but with my website Elevate Culture, I actually sell mouse pads just like this one. I also sell coiled keyboard cables, and I also sell custom wallpapers. So all those might be 3 really good buys, and of course I'll have those linked down below, or you can just search up elevateculture.co. Next up now, this is a section I know a lot of you guys will be interested about. We have the streaming setup section. So I'm going to be going over like my favorite things, and I have a lot of it in my gaming setup right now, actually, my gaming / streaming setup. But first is of course the Shure SM7B. This is like a $300 or $400 microphone. Sound quality is amazing. You'll see literally every single top Twitch streamer or streamer in general using these, but you do have to actually connect it with like a mixer, like the Go XLR Mini. That's the one I use. These can get expensive, and in total you're about like $500 to $600 in here, so it is pretty expensive. Or you can go for a microphone like the Elgato Wave 3 or the HyperX. I know they have some good microphones that are like $100 to $200, and they're just USB-C, so you can plug it right into your PC and it'll be way cheaper that way. And then speaking about Elgato, I love their key lights. I have these all over my setup. I have 2 of them right here. They add some good light and they also look pretty good, but they are a little bit more on the expensive side. I'm pretty sure they're like $100 or something, and I mean it is just light, so you can kind of get whatever light you want for your own streaming setup, and just depends your actual budget or your price point. And then this is something that really can go up in price a lot, is your camera. So for streaming, especially if you're starting out, I would not recommend getting a DSLR, getting like an Elgato Cam Link. You don't need to do all that. that. I would just recommend getting a webcam. That's what I started off on. I started off on a cheap $30 one that my mom bought me for Christmas literally like 4 years ago. I used it for my face cam and my hand cam. So yeah, that is something you can do. And webcams have gotten so much cheaper as well, and the quality has just gotten better as tech has gotten like improved and all that. Or like I mentioned, you could go DSLR and Elgato Cam Link if you want to get some good options. The one I have right here right now is a Sony A6100, which is a really good quality one. I think this ran me about $600. You need to get a $200 or I think it's $150 Elgato Cam Link to run it. So that's $1,000 in that setup right there. So yeah, that is a little bit pricey. And if you've ever watched a streaming setup video on YouTube, you have definitely heard about the Elgato Stream Deck. They do have a bunch of them though. I think they have like a tiny one with 6 keys for like $60 or $50, and they range up to like over $200. You can also get foam panels, so it is kind of like grass or wall panels like I mentioned, but foam, just so like your room doesn't have as much of an echo. That could be a good option. Or like iShowSpeed has really popularized this, a green screen. These have been around for such a long time, but you guys know what a green screen does. And then you can also get a webcam arm. So if you actually do want to actually use your webcam as a hand cam, you can actually attach it to the top of your monitor, and like you can put it on a little arm that's like $10 on Amazon. I've seen them, and yeah, you can kind of move it around, and it just gives you more flexibility instead of just having it on top of your monitor. And then reaching near the end of here, if you're on a console and you have like a spare laptop or something, you can get an Elgato HD60X. This is actually what I use to record my own YouTube videos. So basically you can record or stream off of your one device and then use a second device to handle all like the OBS and all of that. So that's what Elgato HD60X does. And then this is more of a digital product, but you can get digital custom stream animations or backgrounds, so like good transitions or like a nice starting screen. And now moving on to the third section in this video, we have the YouTube and recording. So this is probably going to be the most expensive part of this video, but I'll go over some of my equipment because I don't think I've ever shown this or talked about it on camera. The camera you guys are watching me on right now is the Sony A7C. I bought it 2 years ago. It cost me $4,000 in total with the lens and everything, but it's been working fine. Nothing has gone wrong with it. And me personally, I'm not that good with cameras. There are a lot of content creators who know an insane amount with lens and all this, but I've just heard that the Sony cameras are better for videos, and some good Sony cameras ranging at different price points. We have the Sony A7C, like I mentioned. I know YouTubers like Balin Levine use these as their vlogging cameras, or the Sony A6100 like I have over here. Or if you want to go a little bit cheaper, you have a Sony ZV-1 that ranges from around $600, and I do have one of those as well. Of course, you also have like the classic Insta360. You also have like a DJI camera, or you can also have like a GoPro. So you have all those kind of options for cameras if you're like more of a vlogger. And then for the mic you guys are hearing me on right now, I'm using the Rode Wireless Go 2. I've used this for about 2 years. The sound quality is good, haven't had any issues, so I like using these as well. And then for my tripod that's actually holding up the camera you guys are seeing right now, it is the newer tripod. This one, it cost me about $60-$70 ish around there. It's just a good quality tripod, but you can genuinely get like a $20 tripod off of Amazon. There was like an Amazon Basics one I bought for like $20 when I first was starting out. So yeah, any tripod will really do, to be honest. And then for the ring light that's actually showing all this light that you guys are seeing on my face, I am using the newer ring light. It is $100 I think, but I mean the quality of the light is really good, and just like, I don't know, it is very, very bright. So I've had no issues with that. And then this is something that's overlooked a lot, but you will need a lot of SD cards if you are recording YouTube videos. I have like so many 512 gigabyte cards, and you don't have to get 512 gigs. You can get like 128, 64 gigabytes, whatever you want, but I like getting higher gigabyte cards just so I don't have to constantly clear out storage, since I'm literally recording every single day of my life. I'm not even joking. I record every single day. You can also get extra camera batteries. That is very useful. Editing software. All my editors basically use Premiere Pro or After Effects. Those are like the best ones. You can also get an external SSD card just to hold more videos. A teleprompter. I do know content creators use these, but I've never used them. That could be something good to use though. A whiteboard. I used to use this, but everything I use now is on something called Notion, where I keep all my like YouTube video ideas and all those kind of like planned out. And then the last thing I have here is an SD card reader. So yeah, I just plug this into my MacBook, and yeah, that's where I have all my SD cards like plugged in. Now, this is probably the longest section in this video, so I'm gonna go a little bit rapid fire on this. We have room decoration. So we have a grass rug. I love how these look, especially if you have a mirror. I love full-size mirrors. These look so good in your bedroom, and if you don't have any, it's just like so good whenever you're doing a quick fit check, or it just makes your room feel bigger. I highly recommend looking at a full-size mirror. Running you about 50 bucks on Amazon. I have mine from IKEA. I think they were like around 100. You can also get neon signs, custom signs. They can go as well. A little tiny fountain. This is kind of random, but it is a cool decoration, and if your friends come, they'll probably honestly, they might make a mess touching the water a little bit, if I imagine. But anyways, you can get like a new blanket for your bed. I love getting like fuzzy blankets. Call that zesty if you want. I love like getting new blankets all the time. You can also get a lava lamp or speakers, like a JBL speaker. I've actually never owned one, but I know a lot of people love these, and you can also just not even have them only in your bedroom, but you can also carry them around, so they are useful. You can also get RGB bulbs. So if you have like a room lamp, you can actually just put these bulbs in, and then you can put any color you want inside of your room. So these are insane, and I did do this in the past actually. You can also get a room RGB projector. There are so many different projectors on Amazon that you can choose from that like are like stars, and I used to have these in my room as well. You don't have to only shine it at your roof, but you can also shine it at like a wall, and it might make a good streaming background if you guys want as well. Then we have mushroom lamp. You can also get car Legos. It doesn't have to specifically be cars, but I love cars. That's literally like, I love cars so much. So yeah, you can just get new Legos. Car posters. Again, it doesn't have to be car posters, but it can be like music posters, like albums, anything like that. Or you can get a mini fridge. I love these. I had like 2 of them in the past. You can put like waters in them, energy drinks, literally whatever you want, Celsius, anything like that. And then moving on, we also have pegboard. Not only is this like cool room decor, but I loved having this in one of my previous setups. I got my pegboard from IKEA, and I put like some of my keyboard switches, keyboards. I even put my backpack on this. It just really helps organize your room a lot. And then speaking about organization, you can also get a controller stand, or this also goes with, like I mentioned earlier, a headset stand. And this is not really room decor, but something you guys might want is a new Bible, or like some Bible study things, such as like new highlighters, a Bible stand, anything like that. And for anyone curious, I just got a brand new Living Translation Bible because it's like easier for me to read, so that is a really good option as well. Or you can get a Pixel digital frame. I actually used to have one of these on top of my PC. I have seen them popularized over TikTok as well, and I know you can get them really cheap on like places like Temu. This is also something I actually do plan on potentially getting, is a classic modern flip clock. I love how these look, and they're just like so aesthetically pleasing. A clothing rack. I actually do have one of these, and I actually use it to hang my mouse pads, but I did use it for my clothes, and it just makes your room look really cool. Obviously, you probably wouldn't put a lot of clothes on them. It would be more of an aesthetic thing, but I just love how they look. You can also have a lake mirror. These are really cool. And then a few more rapid fire ones. Floating shelves. I get my floating shelves from IKEA. You can also get an IKEA shoe display. Govee glides. These are really cool lights. And then speaking about lights, you can also get nano leaves or a salt lamp. And then speaking about like kind of lamps, you can get an oil diffuser. I have like this little candlelight thing over here that really makes my room smell like Christmas. I love that thing so much. But you can get an oil diffuser that has RGB. Those are really good. I've had like 4 of them in the past. You can also get a keyboard display to kind of show on your shelves or on your desk. Those are really cool. And then, you know, like those cause figures that were like really popularized on like TikTok a few years ago. They're super expensive, but I think getting some fake ones on Amazon that I did for like 20 or 30 bucks, they're kind of cool. Then this is a huge thing, RGB floodlights. This is what I actually have as my RGB. You guys can see the red over there and the green right over there. Those are RGB floodlights. I use them in my background on my YouTube videos as well. You can get a fake karambit sword. I bought these on Temu for like $20 or $30. They are really cool, especially if you hang them up. And then another cool option is a custom rug, or finally you can just get candles. I think some like scented candles go a long way into like a room, not only for like the scent, but it also looks aesthetically pleasing. And then finally, for the last section of this video, I would say this part probably fluctuates in price the most. We have tech. So starting off, we have Meta glasses. So you guys have definitely seen these on Instagram Reels. If you've been watching them, you can record on glasses, which is really cool. That technology is good enough for that. And then moving on, we have VR glasses. Of course, you have like the Meta Quest and all those, or you can get like the Apple, I forgot what they're even called, like the Apple Vision, whatever. Those are like $4,000. I don't know who would really buy this, but you could buy it. Then as a cool little tech item, maybe you already have a gaming PC, but you could get a mini gaming PC. These are kind of really cool, and you can travel around with them. Speaking about something that you can travel with, of course, a gaming laptop or just laptop in general. Those are also really good. And then if you have a laptop, I think getting a small external screen is a good option. Or if you have like a console and you want to travel around, having a small like 14-inch screen. I had a sponsor send me one recently, our Zopa. They are like pretty good quality, and I mean you can get them like 144 hertz. I didn't even know that was a thing, which is like really sick. You can also get maybe a brand new Nintendo Switch or a handheld like the ROG Ally X. Those are really good. Or like the Stream Deck. Those are also really cool things you can get. And then maybe you want to be big baller and get a new phone. Currently I'm rocking the iPhone 17 Pro in this orange color. I absolutely love it, and yeah, I think it looks really sick. Speaking about phone, this is kind of random, but everyone has a phone, and maybe you just want to get a cool addition for it. So a new phone case. I mean, you don't always have to break the bank with like getting your Christmas list, so maybe a nice little phone case is like a new upgrade, especially if you guys have like a musty phone case. Those are really disgusting. You might want to change those. Some new tech items you might want to like try out for the first time is like an Amazon Alexa or a Google Home. Or this is a really cool addition, is a TV. I loved having this. In a few months ago in one of my old rooms, I had a TV which was really cool. I had it connected to my console. And speaking about consoles, you might want to get a brand new gaming console like a PS5 or Xbox Series S. The only thing with those is they have ran up in price a lot. Like they used to be cheaper, which is crazy. Inflation is kind of going insane, I can't even lie. And then for one of my favorite things on this list, and that I use every single day in the gym or just any time of the day really, is Apple AirPods or Apple AirPods like the Pro Maxes, like the headsets. They are very expensive, but I know the original generation AirPods, you can buy them for like $100 brand new now, so those are really good buys. Or speaking about Apple, we might as well talk about a brand new iPad. I literally just bought my first iPad like 2 months ago. It's like the brand new M5, and it is insane. The quality and everything is really cool, and I honestly just like it for watching videos, but I think it's just a cool product to have. And then since we're on the topic of Apple, maybe you want a brand new MacBook. I literally use this more than my own gaming PC. I use my MacBook for college, for all my YouTube scripting, for uploading all my YouTube videos. Everything I do for work is on my MacBook Pro, and I spent like $1,700 or $1,800. By far the best purchase I've ever made. And yeah, I mean, it is expensive, but I think it's definitely worth it, especially if you're a content creator. Maybe you also want a wireless phone charger. This can go on your desk or in your room. These are really cool. And then I already talked about this, a new gaming PC or new gaming laptop. And then this is kind of a random tech item, but an electric bike. If you guys are living in a city, you guys have definitely seen like electric bikes, scooters, or if you're like a kid like me and you're a teenager, you've definitely heard of like a Suron. I've owned like 3 Surons, 2 Talarias, some E-Ride Pro SSs. So if you guys know about those electric bikes, you know what I'm talking about. Then nearing the end of the list, we have an Apple Watch or any really smartwatch. I know a lot of people are like focusing on fitness and everything. So yeah, you can count steps and do all that like a Fitbit basically. But for the final thing I have on my list, very random, an electric toothbrush. Make sure you guys brush your teeth. That's all I gotta say. So that was a lot of products, and this video is actually going to be way longer than I expected, but this is what I really want to hear. Let me know in the comments what you guys are actually going to buy from this video, or that you are thinking of buying. Let me know in the comments, because I'm actually going to be reading them. I'm just really curious what you guys are actually planning on buying this holiday season. And again, quick shameless plug, if you guys are trying to support me further and want to get some new Christmas holiday gifts for yourself or for your friend or anything like that, highly recommend checking out Elevate Culture. Of course, it is my own website, but I have mouse pads, keyboard cables, and these are coiled keyboard cables, so they look really nice. And I also have custom wallpapers for your phone, tablet, MacBook, laptop, gaming PC, of course, all of that stuff. As always though, don't forget the real meaning of Christmas, and always remember Jesus loves you, and that's about it. God bless.